Hi everyone, welcome to Dischord Dissent. This is a video project brought to you by Monster Mouse Studios in Marrickville.
Kia ora, ko Sasha tōku ingoa. Hey, my name's Sasha and I'm from Aotearoa, New Zealand.
My name's Sarah and I've been asked to be one of the judges.
Hi, I'm Gianni Alcinkaya. I play the drums in the Sydney-based Muslim death metal band Hazin, which I founded with my friend Safdar Ahmed in 2015.
I'm Fez and I'm one of the judges for Monster Mouse's Dischord Dissent project.
My name's Jason and I've been putting together this project. It's my first time editing a video project. It's been quite a challenge.
I've been listening to music since before I was even born. I've also participated in the Sydney punk scene since I was a teenager.
I've been going to shows for almost 20 years, going to punk shows mostly. But I've also helped running venues, putting on shows, and currently me and my partner run a record store and a record label.
For the last couple of decades I've played in a bunch of punk bands and expressed dissent through those bands.
Apart from attending protests and playing in Hazin, I have also been involved in a series of political art projects, mainly in comics.
Yeah, I feel like running a venue, a DIY all ages venue, is definitely an act of defiance or a protest against, I guess, what is the majority of venues, and managing to keep a venue like that running without depending on income from alcohol sales or gambling is, yeah, I definitely feel like it's an act of protest.
So I'm a proud Mapuche woman, which is indigenous to South America. I'm Native American. And in that sense, my very existence is a defiance in the face of the narrative told by the Chilean government that my people don't exist or that my people don't have any claim to our land or culture.
I've been involved with political activism through music and also various activities, like working in an anarchist library for a few years. But the main basis of my activism is in Indigenous rights.
I edited a political comics anthology called Resist Comics, which was inspired by the Occupy Gezi protests in Turkey. I have also been involved in organizing the Otherworld Zine Fair, which was born as a reaction to the MCA Zine Fair's financial ties to Transfield.
So that's our panel of judges. Thanks for introducing yourselves. Let's get down to listening to the performers.
The nation that I live in has got a lot to boast about, but I can't be a proud Australian, 'cause I know how it has come about, and the horrors of our history still reverberate. We're still denying genocide since 1788. The settlers of Australia, claiming terra nullius, tried to make their brutal fiction true by bloody massacre, such as the 26th of January 1838. Didn't you hear about the slaughter that took place on Australia Day? How dare we say sorry, and still there's no treaty. On this day of mourning I hang my head. On this day of mourning I hang my head. Our history of genocide has taken different names. Assimilation, integration, wiped out cultures all the same. For stolen land and stolen lives and stolen generations, our heads of state say sorry, but we'll pay no reparations. Just get over it, yells our culture of erasure. Forget the things we took and just be grateful what we gave ya. But lest we forget our shameful past, lest we forget how it lasts in the closures of communities. 20-year gap in longevity. Kids taken from families more now than they have ever been. Discrimination plain to see in slurs rebranded as free speech. The legal right to bigotry protects hate in society, reflected in acts by police. Just look at deaths in custody, incarceration rate more steep than in the apartheid regime, and sacred sites destroyed by greed of lying mining companies, dividing mobs across country, and still there's no treaty. How dare we say sorry, and still there's no treaty. On this day of mourning, I hang my head. On this day of mourning, I hang my head. And it has only been through struggle that we've changed our laws at all. Every single step to justice fought for by the first people, and I put my strength behind those movements trying to make it right, but there's a long, long way to go. Can we open our eyes?
Eins, zwei, drei, vier. And the seas were clean, and William Gravel brought some land from trees down to the sand. Now everybody's starving, and the families wait for halving, and depresses the war to the legend slabs of cold concrete to make a stone cold concrete beach to give jobs and barbers to the poor. The shit oh dear, have the tables turned from what was so dear. Now it's effortlessly earned by the rich bitch sitting on top of a throne, trusted with tears of necessity. So what a time, what a place to live with. Not a dime to spare, not a shit to give. They couldn't care less, also dignity, respect. God fuck this joint down in Poverty Point. Bottom of pond. If it weren't for mommy's monthly check, she wouldn't be far from. Let's see you built your life from scratch like Willie built the bed. If only he could see now, be thrashing in his grave. Shit, I did have the tables turned from what was so dear. Now it's effortlessly earned by the rich bitch sitting on top of a throne, crusted with tears of ancestors' deeds. So what a time, what a place to live with. Not a dime to spare, not a shit to give. Couldn't care less, lost of dignity, respect. God fuck this joint down in Poverty Point.
It was done in afternoon, a Valentine's Day. DJ's on his bike to get some chips and cigarettes. He's looking ill for many are slipping. If the boys in blue will find him, they'll cut him to the quick. He's living on the floor, a vexed cool sweat. Last time the cops smelled him, they thought he was someone the form and shapely hand of the long arm of the Lord, leaving on the block with nothing but hard work and less than the real necessities of life, quarterly hounded by the cards, and never the bounce down of his mistakes. Then you nothing and could kill us. In the quiet of the pub, on the way home from the shops, the heat is on his neck, the hum and bustle of the clubs. So they give chase and teach their cycles down the hill, and falling full time with hot misses a bit. He's riding on a foil of ex-cold sweat. Last time the cops nailed him, they beat him to a pulp. Coin feet to choke, he takes the bend to first, landing on a fence, impaled for the neck. Died away, and DJ lay fighting for his life. His mom lay beside the bed, beginning to wail. Say that they killed his son, but you made a pact. Say that they killed you, but you were the last one. Hell's only half full, plenty of space for the boys in blue. If they make it through, there will be soon enough for me. Hell's only half full, plenty of space for the boys in blue. Say that they killed you, but you were the last one.
Beginning. So you're sitting in the highest office there is, keep knocking your way suffragette, more tax breaks versus the Asian invasion. Then the gender whisperers, always something to fear, hatred to confer. You say you love God, well she told me to call you out on your hypocrisy. Why don't you take your racist bullshit and fire yourselves into the sun? And while you're roasting in the flames of hell, work hard to get shit done. We'll rip your system limb from limb. We're gonna enact universal housing. The jails on man is gonna be torn down, and the treaties are gonna get written now. I can't say I'm too upset you got your window smashed in, 'cause this is really only just the beginning. I'm sick of and sickened by your evil, the depths of your lies, bipartisan concentration camps. Every single death is more blood on your hands. Royal commissions and royal commissions, yet still no one's held to account. When I have a dream, get stuck in your throat, 'cause I just wanna scream. Why don't you take your racist bullshit and fire yourselves into the fucking sun? And while you're roasting in the flames of hell, work hard to get shit done. Rip your system limb from limb. We're gonna enact universal housing. The jails on man is gonna be torn down, and the treaties are gonna get written now. I can't say I'm too upset you got your window smashed in, 'cause this is really only just the beginning.
Love, to sleep, little one, brave in the burning sun. Sleep, so sound, little one, tomorrow we may have to run. So mask your lips, little one, conserve your oxygen. Try not to weep, little one, I'm sorry for what we've done. And I can't hold you from here, my child, 'cause I
can't breathe through tears and fire.
I'm sorry, my sweet little one.
Lullabies full of hopes and lies, I swear. My sweet little one, I'll protect you, you know I'll try. Don't drum upon your ribs, little one, I'd give you all my blood and crown. Save your strength, little one, anything but to see you drown. And I can't hold you from here, my child, 'cause I can't breathe through tears and fire. I'm sorry for the things that we could have done. I'm sorry that my love could not protect you, my son. I'm sorry for the life you lived due to ignorant delusions. I'm sorry that our promises were nothing but pollutions. And I can't hold you from here, my child, 'cause I can't breathe through tears and fire.
Thanks for having me judge your entries. They were really enjoyable, so thank you. Couldn't choose between two, so the first one was Spindles. I thought they had great storytelling. It's a really good message and also good interplay between the vocals and guitaring, which was really good. And the second performance was Birthday Raven, just for its simplicity of message, which I think is really important to get that message across.
Well, yeah, I felt like the videos were really engaging. I actually really enjoyed watching them. Also enjoyed having the lyrics on there. Like, I found that to be quite nice. I get a really good idea of what people are trying to say. Yeah. I think for me, the the Spindles one were really, it was quite a standout for me. It was, I think one of the things that I find difficult about sort of like protest songs quite generally is that sometimes the message can feel really forced or like crammed into the song, and it can come across really clunky. And with the Spindles one, it was very, it came out very beautifully, and I think that's what sort of makes the best protest songs. They're sort of like the message is wrapped up in this sort of beautiful lyricism that sort of sticks with you, and then you think about it later.
So, can I just say, they were so diverse, and I loved all the different voices that came out from just such a small selection. So that's one thing that really stood out to me, was how absolutely different they all were, and it was really refreshing. So one performance that stood out particularly for me would be Bridget Harilaou or Harilaou. There were just so many messages there. It was on point. It was a little bit, tongue-in-cheek, and it stood out as definitively political. I don't think anyone can listen to that song and say there was no message or it wasn't political.
I was very impressed with the musical and lyrical diversity of the videos I watched today. From the very mournful songs to the punch-in-your-face punk performances, each artist, I think, communicated their ideas in highly imaginative and creative ways. Spindles' Day of Mourning stood out for me in the political commentary section with the haunting and memorable lyrics about injustice against the Indigenous people of Australia. So they're a winner for me in this category.
First one, Bridget, and the second one, Boy Bucket. I thought the performances were really passionate and really well presented.
I definitely felt that Bridget's sort of encapsulated that like rah-rah protest vibe. At the start, I wasn't so sure, but then as I got further into it, I was like, yeah, fuck the rich, yeah, that's right. There was an undertone of sort of like urgency that I appreciated as well.
So this one question, I think, would depend on what audience we're talking about. If we're talking about broad mainstream culture, and I would say Boy and Bucket have nabbed that one for me. They have gorgeous voices, they've got this lovely harmony thing going on, and towards the end, that really soft trumpet is just such a lovely warming sound that I think is very palatable. Bridget Harilaou has a gorgeous voice. I think it might have been Ess-Em who did the piratey sounding political, really fun song, and they stood out as very talented people. Birthday Raven was a band that I totally would have been there for with bells on when I was a teenager.
Birthday Raven, simply because of its straight up, like, no nonsense style and its aggression as well, which kind of showed that discord. And second performance is Ess-Em. I thought the song was well composed. They're great musicians, and I think just the song and the structure lent itself to Dischord and Dissent.
I think it was probably Bridget's one again. Like, I think that was like not, it didn't have the same impact for me as the Spindles one, but it was one that I think would be appreciated by sort of a broad audience, and and like I said before, even though it's sort of an overt message, like I feel like a lot of people could sort of get on board with it, because it's got this like sort of like catchy energeticness, which I really enjoyed, and I feel like could be sort of enjoyed broadly, and people can appreciate the message.
So even though Boy and Bucket were really exciting for me to discover and come across, I'm going to have to pick Spindles for this one. So I've seen this performer perform over a stack of years and have watched them evolve, and they have never failed to move me. Even though this style of protest song isn't really the most palatable for the widest audience, I believe that this one had the most clear, salient message. It was also, for me, the most relevant message, as it's a conversation that has come up time and again in these past years. It's one that's really important for a lot of people, and it's very timely. Also, Spindles' performance really stood out to me as having a raw quality, which means that they don't need lots of production to be really powerful, and I really liked that vulnerable, raw feeling to the performance.
Boy and Bucket's Sorry Little One was the most imaginative in their stage design and very effective in communicating their message. So they did well in the appeal to audience. Bridget Harilaou's performance stood out for me with highly relevant political commentary delivered with a simple yet really catchy tune. So I think for me, they are the winner in the capturing the sound of Dischord and Dissent category.
Thanks for watching, and that concludes our Dischord and Dissent project. We'd like to congratulate Spindles, who will be receiving a band merch package brought to us by The Print Room, which is a screen printing powerhouse that runs out of Monster Mouse Studios in Marrickville.
Thanks everyone for tuning in. It's been a really fun project and I hope to continue on. If you'd like to perform, please get in contact with me and we'll do this again.